Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the First and Inches Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Michael O'Brien, here with my fantastic co-host, Mr.
Aiden Florsher.
What's up?
This week,
This episode is going to be a little different.
yeah, it's not going to be your normal recap. We're trying to spice it up a bit.
Yeah, we're trying to spice up some of these episodes. We're going to do the Pick'em. Pick'em will be out on Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
Okay.
But we're going to try something a little different here. We're going to do our power rankings through Week 6 of the NFL season. Obviously early, but we're also taking into account what we think is going to play out the rest of the season into these rankings to some level, right? Because I'm sure some of these rankings, might seem a little weird right now, but we're also playing into what we think happens the next 11 games also.
Yeah.
We're a third of the way through the season. A lot could happen. A lot will happen and change.
And we're talking about players and we're also putting into consideration players coming back from injury, people that have lost people. So it's just an updated, official First and Inches Sports Podcast NFL Power Ranking.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, take into account injuries, the vibe around the team, kind of what could happen the rest of the year, and what obviously we take into account what they've done so far, because that's really what matters, right? What did Bill Parcells say? You know what he said?
A win is a win.
No, close. You are what your record says you are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is the most true statement in football. You could be a 1-5 team, and you could be like, "Oh, we lost by this much." Nope, you're a 1-5 football team.
Yeah, exactly. Your record says you are.
That's close. So that's awfully close to what Ricky Bobby said. If you ain't first, you're last.
You're last.
Right?
That is along the tone of Ricky Bobby. Yes, two legends, Ricky Bobby and Bill Parcells. Two of my idols personally in life.
Yes, two of my top smoke group sessions probably.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill Parcells is hitting ganj. You're crazy. Maybe he is. Ricky Bobby, dude, definitely. Ricky Bobby's probably doing meth.
That's great. So
let's get into it.
Let's get into the power rankings of the official First and Inches, sponsored by First and Inches, our own corporation, the power ranking for this year's NFL season through 6 weeks?
Yeah, week 6. It's week 6.
Yeah.
Through week 6. We're going into week 7. It is Thursday we're recording this. So, no, it's Wednesday today. I'm an idiot. It's Thursday.
No, it's Thursday. We have football tonight.
I know. Let's go.
But who honestly cares about football because, the Yankees tonight. I got to rep this during. Just a little mojo,
Let's go. We need to win tonight. If we don't, I'll cry. Let's get into the power rankings.
Yeah, let's get into
We're going to start from the bottom. Worst 3 teams in the NFL.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't want to cut
what
you
do you
off.
got to say?
I just want to.
No, go for it.
I just want to explain to the audience how we compile these rankings. We did separate tier lists, me and OB. So we made our own.
We
separate
did our own
ones.
1 through 32.
Yeah,
and then collaborated.
We clashed to make one.
And we decided on a
one.
collaborative 1 through 32.
So it's elite.
Yeah. Let's start from the bottom. Worst 3 teams in the league. At 32, we have the Carolina Panthers. 31, we have the Houston Texans. At 30, we have the Commies.
Yeah, no questions here. I mean, you could probably switch up these 3 in some different order, and I'd be fine
really,
with it.
I feel like any of these bottom 5, 6 teams are probably going to be interchangeable. Even some of the teams in the lower 20s, I think, that have expectations but aren't playing well could fall and shit the bed, especially with some injuries. But, I mean, I think it's safe to say the Panthers are the worst team in the league. I really don't think it's close.
Followed by the Texans. This has got to be the right order, man.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans don't have a good roster. I think the Texans have some interesting young pieces. And I think
they're just not there.
No, they're not there. I think they'll probably be close in a lot of games, but not really win a lot of games. Davis Mills is clearly not the guy. I think would they have another year or 2 of these picks, especially with the Browns, they're going to be decent, but clearly not this year. I mean, those 2 teams I think are easily bottom 2, no matter how you want to rank them. I think the Panthers are worse, just based on the whole situation with that team. They're going to trade everyone too, or a couple more people. They already traded Anderson. I think at least 1 or 2 more guys get shipped off that team. They'd be dumb to not.
I think the Commies do the same thing at 30. I think they're going to have to sell house. I think they should get Terry out of there. I think they should
just
save
gave
a few
him money.
careers.
They're not going to. They're not going to trade anyone. They're stupid.
They should, though, man, because they're not doing anything with this team.
Maybe if Snyder gets the boot and they have to get new ownership, then maybe that's what happens.
I've heard a lot of rumors. That also brings them
I don't
down
think
to
they're going
30
to do
power
yeah.
rankings, man.
No, we can shit on Carson Wentz all we want, but him being out for 4 to 6 weeks definitely does not help this team, I wouldn't say.
I think it helps Terry,
No.
and that's it. Yes.
Yeah, but Terry...
Heineke and Terry have like a connection, low-key.
But does it help the team? Really?
No.
Probably not, yeah.
But did Carson Wentz help that team? No. So it's kind of like they're in the same spot. They might... I see them trending down, to be honest with you.
You know, they're not in a good spot. Their defense is very overrated. They're just... I don't think they're that... They're it. I don't think they're it. And with the rest of the division, it's not looking good for them right now.
Let me talk about the next 3 games. So we got the 20...
Teams.
Not next 3 games, next 3 teams. Sorry, the pick'em is... It's...
Seeping into your
stated in my
brain.
head. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Our 29th best team is the Lions. At 28, the Chicago Bears. And at 27, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lions at 29, their offense is there. Their defense is horrendous.
Yeah.
They lose them games every week.
I want to rank them higher because of the talent they have on offense, but
Me
I
too.
just can't until their defense actually does something positive. And I don't think Campbell's good. I want him to be the guy. If they're terrible again this year, you have to boot him, right? No one's gonna want to play for a 4-13 team where you're doing up downs every fucking day of practice. We saw it with Joe Judge. So we were on the MCDC train. We wanted it. I wanted it.
But we said, or at least I said, maybe at week 1 or 2, he's a little dramatic, man. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not the wild card game. You're down 40-7. Chill out.
It hasn't looked great for them. The Bears are also, what are they, 2-4, 3-3? Aren't they 3-3?
Yes, because the winner of the Giants game would have been 3-1, I think.
The Bears are, let's see, I believe they're 3.
4-1 they would have been, because they were both.
Bears are 2-4.
2-4.
But
okay.
I mean, clearly the weapons aren't there. They just lost to the Commies, who are also 2-4. But I mean,
losing to the Commies is not anything you should be proud about this year.
You know, I mean, I feel like all these teams are somewhat interchangeable. The Steelers are an interestingly low team here, but I mean, even though they did just beat the Bucs, I don't really see them being consistently good the rest of the year with Trubisky or a rookie quarterback or Matt Canada calling the plays for them. Najee looked a little better last week, but he's still probably playing hurt. They might trade Claypool. There's a lot of uncertainty around that team right now, I feel like. That I'm not getting the best energy from the Steelers this year.
Yeah,
I don't feel it in my nards with them. I think they're going to be really shitty.
The only reason why the Steelers are, I feel like, should only be this low, and not lower, to be honest with you, is because of the head
they're
coach.
not lower than this, but yeah.
I don't know, man. They're
TJ Watt,
a bottom
they're
5
tough.
team.
They looked really bad without Watt. They looked really
but them
bad.
beating the Bucs does surge them up a bit past the Bears and Lions for me. I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers beating the Bucs says more about the Bucs than the Steelers.
No, I know, but it's nice for their morale going throughout the season.
Oh no,
you gotta get that
obviously.
good
win. I'm not trying to discredit their win, even though we are kind of by putting them this low.
No, but I don't think it's discredited. I think people would have them lower, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're probably right. Let's hit this next couple mediocre teams that are like 25. We have 26. I should say we have the Las Vegas Raiders. At 25, we have the Saints, and at 24, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I was high on the Saints coming into this season, and they haven't. I mean, they've lost some heartbreakers, and I think they'll be better when Jameis gets back. But there's just no way with the injuries they have right now I can put them really high. And the way they're 2-4 also, I can't.
They're so hit and miss every Sunday. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, they're very inconsistent. Even when Winston comes back, it's probably going to be more of the same because he's very inconsistent. So they're not the best spot right now.
They don't deserve to be above any of the teams that we have yet to say so far. So
yeah, I would say so too. So yeah, Raiders. We have been outspoken haters of on this podcast. Same with the Cardinals. I don't think either of these teams are really that good. They played each other, and that was, I mean, the Raiders just sold that game. The Cardinals got bailed out by Kyler. The Cardinals coaching staff is so incompetent. Their game plan every week is have Kyler bail us out.
Yeah, it's looking like college coaches aren't the wave in the NFL anymore, man.
College coaches have really never been the wave in the NFL.
No, I know, but it's really showed in these last few years that they have no business being in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I think teams are really going to start to shy away from it, especially like the ones from bigger programs.
Exactly.
I mean, Saban was
Matt Rule. What an idiot.
I mean, just think about a lot of the guys who came from bigger programs into the NFL in recent years. Rule, Baylor's pretty big program, wasn't great. Fucking blanking on his name. Even just Saban wasn't good in the NFL. The only really good
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer, yeah, that's exactly that's who I was blanking on. Urban Meyer, horrible in the NFL. Saban was horrible in the NFL. A lot of these bigger college coaches don't really translate
Kingsbury.
over ever. Kingsbury's garbage. And Kingsbury wasn't even good at Texas Tech. I don't know how that guy got an NFL job. It was actually crazy to me.
It had to be
Because he developed Patrick Mahomes. It's because he developed something. Because he developed Pat Mahomes at Texas Tech, I guess, kind of.
But it's also Pat Mahomes. He had that shit in him.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't really Cliff Kingsbury. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, the Cardinals are a mess. The Raiders are a mess. These are teams that should be better, but are just complete messes right now. And I don't see anything changing with them being complete messes. The Raiders look like a mess. McDaniels isn't a good coach. Kingsbury isn't a good coach.
And
Saints
it's
are
funny.
hurt to the no point of any end. So, like, you can't put them high, even though they have talent.
We're seeing the battle of these teams tonight, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, Cardinals
if our,
versus Saints.
If our list is correct with the power ranking.
Yeah, let's see. The next 3 teams, let's go through 20. The next 4, the bottom 12 teams. Let's get through them. 23, we have the Atlanta Falcons. 22, we have the Jags. 21, the Denver Broncos. And 20, the Cleveland Browns. You want to touch on one of these teams?
Yeah, I'll touch on 2 of these teams here. I think
Yeah.
the Falcons here, we're being quite generous giving them this high of a pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they are 3-3, so, like, they've been
No, I
winning.
know that they are 3-3. I don't know if Mariota throughout the season gets any better. Probably worse.
Yeah, teams
I
are
see
probably
them
just going to have to start putting 8 in the box, right? And then just, like, it's just
No
might be a nightmare.
Cordaro. He's huge. I love.
Yeah, their
I love
roster's very
Cordaro.
thin. Mariota could fall apart. So
Pitts
yeah.
has been underperforming.
They just don't throw the ball either, man. They throw the ball 15 times a game. So like it's hard for London and Pitts to really make that much of an impact when you throw it 15 times and half the time they're a decoy. So like,
And I'll talk about the Browns here at 20. The Browns here at 20, I think, is
this
a
is
good
higher
spot
than
for
a lot
them.
of power rankings are going to have the Browns. Yeah.
I think, I agree with you, but I think this is the right spot for him because their run game is phenomenal. I think they have the best run game in the
They have
NFL.
talent. There's a lot of talent on the roster.
Their defense is very iffy, but
Yeah, but there's
I
still
think
there's a lot of talented players just underperforming on that defense. I feel like guys like Ward, JOK hasn't played that good this year. So who knows? I think
they're just not playing that
and they're
well.
gonna get R. Kelly back in what week? After 11 games, right? He got suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, the last 6 games of the year with R. Kelly definitely helped the team. Even so, I think they'll if they can get to like even if they're 5-6 by the time they get Watson back, like they could sneak into a wild card.
And be dangerous with that run game, man. Run game in the playoffs
Yeah.
is key.
And a quarterback that's a lot better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I like Jacoby,
So-
though. I would rather Jacoby start.
You'd rather have Jacoby start over Deshaun Watson?
Yeah. I don't want any of those allegations on my team.
I agree with you there, but like they're in a situation they already have, so like they're gonna obviously you play Deshaun Watson.
I'd make a statement.
Yeah,
Cut
I mean they
him.
gave him $250 million, so they're not going to
Cut him. Cut him.
Yeah, I agree, but fuck that guy. But he's a good quarterback. Let's hit the next
You
couple
want to talk
teams.
about? You want to talk about the Broncos and Jags? Or
Oh,
you just
yeah.
want to skip over them a little bit.
The Jags, I don't feel like. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of young talent on that team. I think this is probably right for them. I don't think they're going to be that good. Titans and Colts are definitely better than them in that division. But I think they could hang around like 6-7 wins, maybe even a little 8-9 if they get hot. I think they are kind of a sleeper team, but like they haven't looked that good. They're 2-4. They got to win a couple games in a row here if they want to have any chance of being relevant this year. But
It's
obviously,
so
it's a
funny.
lot better than the Urban Meyer Jaguars. So I think this is a good spot for them. And the Broncos, they look horrible. Hackett's an idiot, but I think their defense is still so good. And even though Russ has been so bad and he's starting to get banged up, I feel like he has to turn it around to some level, man. You don't think? I don't think he's going to be Seattle Russ, but I don't think it's going to be this bad for the next 11 games.
He's embarrassing.
He has been embarrassed. I'm not going to sit here and pretend he hasn't been, but I don't think it's this bad for the next 11 games. There's no.
I think I'd rather play Deshaun Watson than Russell Wilson. Like, no cap.
Yeah, obviously, because he's a
Put
better
Jacoby
quarterback.
Brissett over Deshaun
Jacoby
Watson.
Brissett's the best quarterback in the league.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this is a lot higher on the Broncos than I think some people would be. But their defense is still so legit, man. So I think even if the offense continues to just be shit, their defense will win them a decent amount of games. I will say that.
Yeah, this is kind of on your end here, having the Broncos this high. If it was for me, I'd have them bottom 10.
There's too much defensive talent on that team, and their defense has played very well. It's too good of a defense to be a bottom 10 team in the NFL. I'll say
Their
that
offense
much.
is brutal, man.
It is,
I'll say it
but-
again. I'll say it 1,000 times.
So there's going to be some level of turnaround to it. There has to be.
It would be good because hopefully, I mean, it wouldn't even matter at this point because we've seen them 17 times already on prime time.
Yeah,
They're probably not going to be on again. So
That's probably why it's also so amplified, because the country's watched almost every Broncos game.
yeah, true. That
Let's
is
get-
a good.
Let's
way
get
to
out of
look
these.
at
Let's
it.
get out of this bottom third tier teams. Let's get into the teams that are fun. At 19, let's go one at a time for these. We'll go one at a time for these. Get a little in depth on these teams, because all of these teams, I feel like after this point, have the potential to make noise this year.
Want to just go
The
back and
NFL
forth?
has been, yeah, the NFL's been weird, man. Like I feel like overall quality of football is down across the league. We see a lot of teams just hanging around 2-4, 3-3.
It's a
even
weird league.
Yeah, every team in the league has a win up to this point. So, and I just think it's been like a lower quality of football. So I think all of these teams have potential to be in the playoffs and make noise.
Pretty much
Just the
every
way the
team
NFL
besides the bottom three, I'd say, in my opinion, could make a little run.
Nah. I'd say from this point on, it's teams that have the potential to do a little something fun.
But you just said the Browns before. I think the Broncos, Jags, Falcons, Cardinals, Saints could all turn their seasons around.
I have
in a matter
no
of,
faith.
like, 3
I have
weeks.
no faith in the Cardinals, Raiders.
I'm not saying I
Saints
have
at this
faith,
point.
but what I'm saying is they could. They have the talent on the roster.
Anything could happen.
Put it
We're just
together.
talking out of our ass. Anything could
It's a
happen.
third of the way through the season, OB.
I know anything could happen. I'm not saying you're wrong, bud.
You know I'm ending the season positive from the Pick'ems.
I know you are. You're gonna hit 316 of those in a row.
It would be sick.
Yeah. 19.
So, 19, yeah. You got it.
Seattle Seahawks. I think this is the right spot for them, even though they've actually played pretty well this year. They're 3-3. They're in a tough division. Geno has looked very well. I think it's safe to say this Geno level of play is going to continue to some level.
Why wouldn't it? He's
Maybe
not doing
not.
anything spectacular.
No.
He's just playing well.
Maybe he won't finish the year with the 115 passer rating, but he's playing very well. He's being very serviceable. They beat some decent teams, and been in every game, even the ones they've lost. So I think they're going to hang around all year. They're young. They're kind of fun. They score. So, I think this is the right spot for them. I don't know if I could put them as a top 15 team at this point, but they're fun. And I think they could, with how the NFC is, if they rattle off a couple more wins in a row, they'll be in the hunt for the playoffs, man. They're really interesting to me.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were going to be dog shit.
I thought they were going to be a bottom 5 team in the NFL, 100%. But
They're
better than the Broncos right now.
Now they got Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, still have
looks
DK and Lockett.
Awesome.
Kenny Walker looks so legit, man. He's very good.
Their defense could use a bit of a tune-up, but
They got some young guys there. Tariq
Yeah.
Woolen, their rookie corner, looks unbelievable. He has picks. He has a pick in 4 straight weeks.
that's
They drafted
amazing.
Boye Mafe. Their defense looked good last week. They clamped the Cardinals, even though the Cardinals' offensive game plan is scramble with Kyler and pray. And they've looked all right, man. I think they're a really interesting team. If the defense could be more consistent, I'd put them higher. But
Let's move on to
yeah, this is my
team.
favorite. Yeah, I love this ranking.
let's move on to Team 18, the
Yeah, start it
Packers.
off. Yeah.
The Packers, they're deservedly the 18th best team in the NFL. Any higher would be blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean, they just lost to the Giants and Jets in back-to-back weeks. If that doesn't crush your season, I don't know what will.
Rodgers is
Trying to play
a
hero
baby.
ball, which is out of character. He is a baby.
No, but like the thing is, like I just don't get it. Like you have all these young guys that are working their ass off for you, man. They probably looked up to you all their lives. You throw a ball 10 feet over their head and then you're screaming at them. Like, bro, be the bigger man. You
Yeah,
know
he's a pussy.
You know
have I
this
not been
season-
saying this for a
No,
while?
you have. This is the first time that I've really been like actually pissed off at him because you have guys there. You have Dubes. You have
Watson's interesting, even though he's hurt
Watson.
right
I mean,
now.
I mean, him and Rodgers
He's
just don't
super
have a
raw.
good connection.
No, they don't. He's
So,
super
like-
raw, though. That's why.
And the Packers' defense is Swiss cheese, man.
I know, it's
but to
rough.
have them outside of at the top 10 with Rodgers and their backfield, it would be kind of blasphemy also. But like at 18, I think they sit perfectly here. They're not going to do anything great for the season.
The Vikings have 2 games on them already, and they beat
And
them.
and then they're not going to beat the Vikings when they play them again. So
Probably not. They looked really bad. I mean, we're probably shitting on Aaron Rodgers. He's going to start throwing 5 touchdowns a game, but fuck that guy.
I don't think
hate
so,
the
man.
Packers.
I think
Yeah.
he's gone over the climax, man.
I think he's. Yeah, I hope it just.
He's
crashes and
trending
burns this year.
downhill, man.
Good. Hope he retires. I'm going to be honest with you. Packers are easily in my top 5 least favorite franchises across all of sports. Probably top 5.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy like a good Packers game.
Really, I
When
hate
it's
the
on.
Packers so much. They're so
No,
corny.
I don't know. I don't
I
hate them
hate
as
it.
much.
They're like,
as
let's
you
ride
do,
our bikes to
definitely.
practice and wear cheese on our heads. Just fuck off.
No, I've liked Aaron Rodgers for a while, man. I just think recently he's become an absolute bitch.
Recently, recently,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has been an absolute bitch for
But
all
the
39
thing
years
is,
of his life.
You could be a bitch if you're like good. You know what I'm saying? Like you could
You could
have
be a
that
bitch if
attitude.
you don't lose in the NFC Championship game every year.
But bro, he's not Aaron Rodgers anymore. Like the regular season, is his time. He can't even do this
I
anymore.
know, because he's
missing,
crying. Yeah, you know why he looks so good?
He's missing outs by
Devontae
15
Adams.
yards.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated player in NFL history. I don't care what anyone fucking says. I'll say it. I
Okay,
think he's
yeah.
the most overrated player in the history of NFL.
Let's move on to Team 17 before you say anything crazy.
No, I'm just saying. Is he a top 5 quarterback of all time in your eyes?
Like
No.
not in like achievements, but in like skill. Like he could throw the ball with the best of them.
But what matters? Achievements.
But,
yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? There's two
Yeah,
different
obviously,
arguments. I
yeah,
think.
but he's a little whiny bitch and loses in the playoffs every year.
Where
the
it's
Giants
like
have won a title more
Brady's the
recently than him.
goat,
Brady,
but like Rodgers
Manning,
is like the most
Joe Montana.
skilled quarterback ever, probably.
Yeah, he in his prime probably, but too bad they only won 1 Super Bowl with him. I wonder what happened every year in the playoffs.
I mean, one is enough, dude.
No, it's not.
I don't.
When you have Aaron Rodgers, it's not.
I don't know. I'm not here for the Rodgers slander like that. All I'm saying is he's a bitch this year.
The Packers had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for 30 years and won 2 titles. It's embarrassing.
All right.
I'm just saying
Team
the truth.
17 is the Patriots. I think this is a little low, but also kind of a correct spot for the Patriots because in the beginning of the season we had them buried, which was probably our
they
fault.
They lost week 1. We're like, this team's fucking dead. and then they just rattled off
Belichick
wins.
was literally like this.
Yeah. Belichick heard us talk bad on the Patriots, and he was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna fuck with these kids. So let's give them the due respect. Their run game is legit. Ramondre is a dog. They obviously have a defensive scheme that's worked for, 20 years? So,
And it's going to work every year.
Yeah. Belichick is the greatest coach ever. We should have never doubted them. I think this is the right spot for them, though. Their roster isn't that good, and they play in a tough division.
They're middle of the pack.
I think, yeah, they're a middle of the pack team. They're going to be They're going to be at like 500 plus probably. They'll win 8 to 10 games because that's what Bill Belichick does. Bill Belichick went 8-8 with Cam Newton's corpse. So like, I don't see why they can't win 9 games with this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Hit me.
What do you think happens when Mac Jones comes back?
You have to play Mac. You're going to play Mac Jones.
I don't know, man. It's tough.
I mean, if Belichick starts Zappy over him, then I trust him. I'm not going to doubt Billy B if he decides to go with Zappy over Mac, but I'm going to assume they're starting Mac Jones.
I think the fan base probably wants Zappy.
No way. Mac Jones made the
Yes.
Pro Bowl last year as a rookie, bro. You'd be stupid to not have him start.
He's not, but I'm telling you, man. I think Zappy looks just as good as Mac Jones.
It's also because their offense is a good. They're running the shit out of the ball, and they're just not doing a
So
lot.
Zappy in his first 3 games
Zappy's going to
looks
have a
good
game
as
where he just fucks up.
he's
They're
the
going
new
to start
Tom Brady, man.
We'll see. Maybe he is. If he is, I'm convinced Bill Belichick is the devil. If
Yeah,
he pulls
might be.
another 5th round Hall of Fame quarterback out of his ass,
And
then
he's
he is
coaching
the
to the grave because he wins Super Bowls like 10. He has another dynasty.
Bill Belichick's like coaching while he's cryogenically frozen 50 years from now, and the Patriots have a
Coach, what do you want to
dynasty.
do? Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, the
Run,
Pats.
heavy ski.
That's all I'll say about the Pats. We were stupid to doubt them like that. That's all I'll say. Let's hit the next team. 16, Indianapolis Colts. Another team that I think is kind of middle of the pack. Has looked better the last few weeks.
They're capital
But I-
mids.
Yeah, they're always a middle of the pack team as long as they have band-aid quarterbacks like Wentz, Matty Ice, Phillip Rivers. So they've started off really brutally. They've started to pick it up. I think this is a team that if we did this again in 5 weeks might be a little bit higher. But I don't think they beat the Titans this week, in my opinion. And yeah, I think the Titans take that division. But I think they're a middle of the pack team. This is where they should be. They still have lots of talent. They're going to get JT back. Pittman and Pierce looks like it could be a fun little wide receiver duo. So I'm not
And
going
they
to
have
completely
Mo Alley
count them out.
Cox.
Yeah, Jelani
My
Woods.
man.
They have a fun little tight end room. I'm not going to completely count them out yet because they have looked
Okay.
better. There's enough
No,
talent
yeah.
there for me to say where I think this is a team that could compete still.
15's a perfect spot for the Colts.
16, yeah. And now
16.
we got, yeah. Let's talk about
15.
15. I want you to kick off 15.
15, we have the New York Jets.
J-E-T-S.
Wow, congrats, Jets, man. This got to be your first time in the top 20 in 10 years.
This is top 15. Yeah, probably even top 25, honestly.
But I got to say, as a Jets hater myself, I'm eating my words, man. They look great.
See,
They look great.
yeah, I still think Zach Wilson's going to throw them a couple
Oh.
games, if I'm going to be completely honest. Because he
That's
hasn't
what I
looked
say
that great.
to all my Jets fans.
Yeah, no. They're
Zach Wilson
They're not
is
winning
not it.
because of him. They're winning in spite of him. He's getting carried by Brees Hall in their defense right now. That can
And
happen, though.
sometimes that's all you got to do, though, is just not fuck up too bad. You know, Like,
Exactly, but that's gonna the
That's
way
not how
Zach
you
Wilson
win.
plays, that's gonna happen though. You know what I mean? And
I know what
especially
you're
when they
saying.
play the Bills, they have a tough schedule too. But they're 4-2. They've beaten some decent teams. I have to give them credit. Like I don't know if I can really rank them ahead of any of the teams we have ahead of them. I wouldn't personally.
Quinnen
But-
looks great.
You know, they have a lot of really good young talent there. So I think they're this low for me because I'm not a Wilson guy. If they had a young quarterback who I liked a little better than Wilson, I put them a lot higher, honestly. Because their young talent is crazy. I just don't think Wilson's really the guy. I don't think
Yeah,
he's it.
I'm in total agreement with you there. Wilson is probably the anchoring factor there for that Jets team. I think he limits them.
100%, because they're not really airing it out with the kid. So like, I want to give them a little more credit because they have beaten some. They beat the Packers last week in Lambeau as a team that, as young as they are, it's fucking crazy. So
No,
like,
no. But we
Had to
just,
give
we
him
just
credit.
talked about it for an hour about how the Packers are the most dog shit team in the NFL.
yeah, but still going into Lambeau as a team that has like an average age of 24 and winning.
No,
that
that's
game.
awesome. Good for them.
Yeah,
I tip
it's
my hat.
impressive. It's impressive. Yeah, 4-2. I'm very impressed with the Jets so far this year. 14, a team that's been disappointing. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they just look kind of anemic on offense. They just lost to the Steelers. But yet again, I'm not going to rank them outside of the top 15 because 2 words.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Even though he kind of is doing the Aaron Rodgers thing right now where he's blaming everyone else besides himself. And he's
thing
not
is,
looking
Tom-
too hot himself.
Tom Brady kind of has the right to do that, though, a little bit.
He does. He does.
Tom Brady has the right to shit on a 22-year-old kid who's his teammate and be like, you can't fucking do that. You know what I mean?
But
I
just think if
I
I was
give Brady
more
more
Tom,
leeway on that type of stuff than Rodgers because Brady actually wins.
I think I would attack it a different way.
Maybe. See, man, they're just so interesting to me. The talent's clearly there, but they're so banged up right now.
I'm also not a 7-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's just like you can't put Brady out of the top 15.
Bro, if I was thinking,
it would be disrespectful.
Disrespectful. They still have talent on defense.
Evans, Godwin.
Yeah, they have talent all over that roster still. They've kept basically the same team they've had the last couple of years. And we know what that team's done. What lost in the second round of the playoffs last year, won a Super Bowl. Yeah, so, I'm not going to count them out. They'll probably figure it out. Brady also kind of always starts slow, I feel like. So
Yeah, people count him out all the time.
always. That's always been a narrative with him for the last 10 years of his career. It's like,
he's
the
done.
Patriots dynasty dead? Is Brady done? Then he wins, 3 more rings. So I'm not going to count this guy out. But I think this is a good spot for them considering how they've looked so far this year. I don't think I can put them any higher, but I'm not going to put them any lower.
If we were to do this again, I'm very curious to see where they would end up, you know? They could either shit the bed or really turn up. I could see them being bottom 15. If this trajectory
Their division
goes,
sucks so bad, though, so they'll probably just start rattling off wins.
Okay. I'd like to see
They're going to
some
be
Bucks,
there. They're going to be there at the end of the year.
Bucks good football.
They're going to climb up this power ranking by the end of the year. But I can't put them any higher right now. They haven't looked good. And they just lost to the fucking Steelers. So, lucky number 13.
We got the Chargers here. Chargers, another
I hate
disappointment. And
they are 4-2 in a tough division. So I have to give them a little credit, even though Staley is an idiot.
Eckler's just been winning them games lately. So
Yeah, no, I mean, they have lots of talent on that team. Their defense started to pick it up a little bit last week, but it was also against the Broncos' dog shit offense. So I'm not really going to buy into the Chargers' defense being good yet. Hasn't been good all year. Yeah, he didn't look that great last week. I don't know. The Broncos also have a great defense. Yeah, so we'll see. The talent's there. I'm not really sold on them that much, but I think we kind of have to put them in this range because they do have lots of talent.
I'm not sold on them at all.
Yeah, no, I kind of painfully put them here, but I think this is probably where they should be in all reality.
A lot of people would put them top 10, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree, but no chance. And then at 12, we have the defending Super Bowl champion St. Louis Rams. I just said St. Louis Rams.
What is it, 2007?
Holy shit. I just flashed back to 2009 for a little bit. The Los Angeles Rams. I was watching NFL Top 10s last night.
We were watching Sam Bradford.
I was watching NFL Top 10s last night, and I was seeing Kurt Warner and Falk. That's why I said St. Louis. But, yeah, Los Angeles Rams, 12th in the league. They've struggled, but, same thing with the Bucks. They've been deep in the playoffs the last couple of years. Talent's still clearly there. And they're still finding ways to win games, even in spite of them looking kind of shitty. So, this is not a team I can count out. Even though Stafford's looked rough, the talent's still there. You have Kupp, fucking Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, and Jalen Ramsey on the same defense. That's nuts.
Yeah.
You have three first-ballot Hall of Famers at key positions on defense. Even if they're all a little bit older.
If they continue to lose, then is it a coaching issue? I don't know. Or is it a personnel issue?
I'm going to be honest. I think their biggest issue so far has been Stafford.
Yeah.
And Ramsey hasn't played too great, but, I have enough faith in those guys to pick it up. They've earned the right for me to say, they'll probably figure it out and be a little better. Even though football is unforgiving, and when you get older, sometimes you just fall off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, Donald was about to retire. We have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't win that Super Bowl.
Donald's not an issue. He's still a fucking game record. He's still taking up triple teams.
Isn't that wild, though?
Wagner's played good for them, I feel like.
A second from retiring.
Yeah, no, it is insane. Now he's back.
We'll move on to the 11th team. We have the Tennessee Titans.
Towards the top 10. We're sneaking towards the top 10.
Our first team out of the top 10.
Yeah, before we get to the top 10, Tennessee
Titans.
Titans.
The Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans are a sneaky good team this year. I think they have they have low-key weapons, man. I mean, the Treylon Burks injury kind of hurts them.
But they're just going
Heavily.
to feed Henry, man.
Yeah, I know.
What
but
they've done forever, and they continue to do it. When he picks it up, they win. If you look at his game logs and what happens in those games, when he goes 20 for 110 and a touchdown, the Titans win.
And Tannehill always proves to be a winner, even if he's not the greatest. I think 11 is a great spot here.
They're going to
There's
win
no
that
other way to
division,
put it.
in my opinion. Yeah, they're better
Yeah.
than the Colts. They'll be in the playoffs. They're going to win that division. And we kind of wrote them off a little bit, and I think a lot of people did after they lost to the Giants. And then who'd they lose to in week 2?
The Colts, right?
No, they lost. I think they started 0-2, right? And then
The Titans. They
yeah,
lost
I'm gonna
to
give it a
the
Google.
Bengals?
No, they got smoked by the Bills.
Bills.
They lost to the Giants and then got absolutely dog walked by the Bills. So they started 0-2, and then now they're turning around. They're 3-3. Beat the Colts. They play the Colts this week. I think they win that game. So I think
they're
this is a spot for them.
4
They're going to be in the playoffs as
Yeah.
a division winner, in my opinion. So
Not even a hot take. I like that take a lot.
yeah,
I think that's
now
a safe bet.
let's get into the good stuff.
The nitty-gritty.
Top 10. The top 10.
The top 10.
Number 10, the Miami Dolphins. Rough last couple of weeks without Tua, but they're getting Tua back.
Two
They
different
still
teams.
have the weapons. Yeah, 2 different teams for sure. So that's why we have them here. We still have faith in them with Tua when he returns. Hopefully he doesn't get concussed again.
This could even be a little too low for them, in my opinion, with Tua
They have the
back.
potential to be a lot higher.
They
I
could
wanna
be a
see
top 5 team.
I want to see what Tua does when he comes back. I want to see how he plays when he comes back before I put him
Me
higher.
too. Me
But
too.
they looked really good with him, and they have the talent to be a top 10 team. They're still 3-3, even though they lost 2 in a row. So I think it's fair to put them here. 3 in a row, actually. Didn't they start 3-0? And they've lost 3 in a row now. So
But to be fair, they had some pretty bad controversy around that team, and I just think when you're starting a rookie with a guy
like
who-
a 6th round rookie at that.
with a Mike McDaniel's offense that's very complicated. It's just it's not a good combination. You want a guy that
Like a
knows
Teddy who
his
knows the
stuff.
scheme.
yeah.
But now with Tua back, they'll probably start cooking a little bit again.
No doubt in my mind.
Hill, Waddle, Xavier Howard on the outside. You got some young pass rushers. I think they'll be good. Number 9. You'd probably expect us to put this team a little higher, but
We're
we gotta
realistic.
Yeah, we're trying to be realistic, but I think you have to put them in the top 10 after how they've started.
The
New York
G-men.
Football Giants, number 9. Yeah, I mean, what a start. 5-1. Beat a lot of good teams, man. They beat the Titans, the Ravens, the Packers. They beat the 1 seeds in both conferences last year. The last 2 NFL MVPs. So I don't think
Their
this is a
defense
fluke.
doesn't break.
It's not a fluke. You know, they have a legit defense. Saquon is playing at like an offensive player of the year pace. So Danny Jones looks pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie.
All the stats point to him getting a franchise tag.
I don't think they're going to tag him. I think they're going to give him like 2 years.
Really?
Deal. Dude, think about how much a tag is going to be. It's I believe the tag is the average of the top 5 salaries in that position. So what do you want to give Danny Jones 1 year, $39 million?
I think, or do you think they'll tag him and maybe draft a QB?
They're not going to tag him, man.
No, what do you think
Danny
they'll sign
Jones
to?
would have to put up 2 or 3 years, like 10 to 15 a year.
That'd probably be worth it.
Yeah. And if he sucks, whatever, we draft someone, and then it's a decent backup at least for a couple years.
Yeah, he's our backup. I'm gonna be upset. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
no,
that.
I like Mr. Dimes, but I mean the Giants are a
We're a
thing.
Dimes podcast.
We are a Danny Dimes podcast, but the Giants are clearly a thing. 5-1 doesn't happen on accident, especially beating some truly legitimate teams, or at least legitimate last couple years.
The Ravens
So, I mean-
surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, I didn't expect us to beat the Ravens, but that was fucking awesome. But yeah, we're here. We're here,
Daboll's
baby.
the Man.
Yeah, Daboll's. I think if Dable isn't the coach of the year, that's a fucking sham. But they'll probably give it to Sirianni because the Eagles have a better roster. But whatever. Number 8.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, this might be. I did see them getting ranked higher in some of the other power rankings across the interwebs. I think this is a good spot for them. I think this is a good spot for them, though. There's so much talent on that offense. They've started to pick it up. Every game they've lost is close. So you'd like to think that they will pick it up to some level and probably sneak in the playoffs. There's too much talent there for them to be like
football teams start from the inside, dude. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build from in out. They built from the outside in.
Yeah, but it kind of worked last year.
But okay, it worked last year. But is it last year?
No, but
they look like shit every week when I watch them. They look. I'm not even kidding. Not even half.
They got bailed out by Chase. They looked bailed out by Chase last week.
Dude, they don't look halfway as good as they did last year.
No, but I still have enough
isn't
faith
better.
in those guys, man. I still have enough faith in that offense to just win them games. That's
they're the 8th best team in the league. If you have them any lower, you're a casual NFL watcher. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't put. I think this is. You could even put the Giants ahead of them, but I'm not gonna because just the talent is definitely a difference.
Yeah, the roster. I'm putting Bengals roster over the Giants, but
and the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, but if they play, I don't know. I think the Giants would keep up with them pretty well.
The Giants have kept up with every team they played. I agree. But this is kind of just a talent thing. They've won a couple games. They've started to look better after starting 0-2. They've lost every game in heartbreaking fashion also. So if a couple of those games go their way, I don't see how they're not a wild card team in the AFC.
Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't see them going deep.
I kind of agree with you, but talent-wise, they're still a top 10 team in the league, I would say.
Number 7, the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
The Cowgirls.
Dallas Cowgirls.
This
defense
is strictly
so
coming
good.
from, their defense is amazing.
Yeah, Parsons and Lawrence on the outside is insane. You got a ball hawk corner like Diggs. Their defense is legit. Dan Quinn's a good coordinator. Yeah, have to put him here. They did just lose to Philly, but they're still 4-2. They're going to get Dak back. You have to put him here. And we put them ahead of the Giants because they did beat the Giants. And they did make us look kind of silly.
And
made our offensive line look silly.
They didn't really lose that horrible fashion to Philly. Like, you
no,
know what I'm saying? Like,
they
kept
made
it close.
They kind of got blown out of the water in the beginning and then made it close at the end. So
classic Philly this year.
Yeah, I
gotta
agree.
beat them in the second half.
For sure. But the talent on this roster is still there. I mean, I was a hater of them coming into this year. I thought they'd kind of shit the bed going into the year with CD and a bunch of
and I was like,
at
hell
receiver.
no.
Yeah. I was wrong. Their defense is really good. Yeah, they're legit. They're going to... I hate it. And number 6, the team we were kind of harping on all offseason. The Minnesota Vikings. They've been winning close games and pulling some wins out of their ass, but they've been winning. So they're 5-1. They're up 2 games on the Packers and already beat them once this year. I think a weak NFC, this is a team that could win a playoff game or 2. Make it fun.
Dude, call me crazy. They have a great record, but they've been underperforming heavily.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think they've reached their full potential. That's the crazy part. Because they've had they had a comeback at the end to the Vikings. They almost sold away a fat lead to the Bears. So they haven't even played to their highest potential yet, in my opinion. So I think this is a team that's going to be really good this year, record-wise. I can
totally
see
agree with you. That's
12-5,
awesome.
13-4.
13-4. That would be great.
So they have to go
for the Vikings.
7-3 the rest of the year, or 8-3 the rest of the year.
I don't know their schedule too much, but whatever.
Even if they go 7-4 the rest of the year, 12-5 is if they're going to win that division with 12-5. That'd be a pretty high seed in the NFC, I'd assume. So
it would probably be 3.
2 behind Philly, probably. I would guess, unless Philly collapses, which I hope.
Or the Giants win.
Unless the Giants win out, yeah, that'd be fucking sick. 15-1. Let's get into it. Top 5
the
teams
top
in the NFL.
5.
The top 5.
These are the real heavy
cream of the crop.
hitters.
These are the heavy hitters. In the eyes of the First Nation Sports Podcast.
We're probably going to see one of these guys in the Super Bowl without.
I would assume one of these teams is in the Super Bowl. Yes.
If it's not, it would be a wild year.
Yeah, that would be cool, but I assume one of these teams is in the bowl.
Number 5, the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers? They're just the 49ers, man.
Their
they
defense
hang
is so
around.
fucking good.
Their defense is great. Ayuk is looking great.
They
Kittle.
just lose to the Falcons, but
Again,
if anything holds
are
the
an
team back,
underrated
it's Jimmy Garoppolo, man. If anything holds the team back, it's Jimmy G. But that's been the narrative with this team forever, and they've made the Super Bowl with Jimmy G and the NFC title game with Jimmy G. So I don't see how this team's not in it at the end of the year.
They age like
Their
wine.
division looks a little rough. The Rams haven't been that great. The Seahawks are 3-3. Like it's going to be them or the Rams in this division, and I would lean them, considering their record against each other in the regular season. Also,
Yeah, Shanahan absolutely owns McVay.
owns McVay. Yeah. So
He's
I
his
like
son.
the Niners here, man. I don't see how they're not in the thick of things again, especially with their defense the way it's playing. Bosa's going to win Defensive Player of the Year potentially. That might have been a Mikey Sharp's call preseason.
That's a little low key.
Low key. They have the number
All
one
right,
defense
number
in the league.
4. What do you want? What do you
Baltimore
think?
Ravens. This is high, I think, for a lot of power rankings. This is higher than most power rankings would have them.
But I would
but-
totally agree with this.
I'm betting on Lamar. That game last week was rough, but they've sold games all year in different fashion. They got to figure it out. I think they kind of do. I could see them getting rid of Greg Roman. I don't think they're going to fire Harbaugh mid-year, but I could see them changing it up on the offensive side. I just think Lamar's just going to will his way into winning them a bunch of games like he usually does.
you
There's
can't
no way
stop him.
No, you don't. That interception on the aborted snap was really fucking stupid last week. He should have just sat on that ball. But, if that doesn't happen, yeah.
It's against the Giants,
Exactly.
too, so it's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, but the Ravens are so good. I'm just the biggest Lamar fan. I think he still wills them to a 11-win season, win that division, and then who knows.
If you get in the playoffs, you got a chance. That's all
Exactly.
I got to say.
And these are teams that we think will win their divisions too, so that obviously gives them advantage in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we got at number 3? Sadly, who do
We got
have
the
at number
Eagles.
3? The Sheagles.
We would be lying to tell you they're not the third best team in the league.
Yeah, I think it's fair to put the two teams we have ahead of them, but they're 6-0. They have a very deep roster. Sirianni's a doof, but he's kind of a good coach. So
I kind of want them to play a good team, though.
I want them to lose out and have him ranked 27.
I mean,
That's what I really want.
is that what you're putting on your Christmas list this year?
Yeah, all I want for Christmas is an Eagles first-round exit.
An
Santa
upset?
to the Giants. Oh my God, how poetic would that be if we beat them in the first
I
round?
hope
of
we
the
play
playoffs?
them in the playoffs.
I do too.
That's
I'd
what I'm
go to
hoping for.
I'd go to Philly and probably get stabbed in the face. I'd show up drunk in a Canarius Tony jersey, be like, "Rocky fucking stinks, you pussies."
And then be like, Tony's been off the team for 5 weeks.
"Yeah, we traded him in week 9." Who cares?
He's
Yeah,
still
but
the
they're
joke.
obviously legit. Jalen Hurts is playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Even though he
Jalen
has the
Hurts
same amount
makes
of
me-
passing touchdowns as Daniel Jones, but no one talks about that. No one uses that in their narrative. Huh?
Let's just keep it quiet. I want Daniel Jones to fly under the radar. I don't need
I
anybody
know that's true.
gassing him.
I still want Giants
That's my
fans to
boy.
think he's bad. That's true. Yeah.
Because if you think Daniel Jones is bad, after this year,
You just haven't watched them play.
what do you want?
Yeah,
What do you want?
You also just haven't watched the Giants if you think Daniel Jones has played bad this year.
Yeah, we have 5 wins out of 6
I know. It's unbelievable. It's our best start in 15 years.
I'll take 5-1 over a top 5 quarterback.
Bro, I would have taken 3-3 right now. You know, if you told me before the year the Giants would have been 3-3 through 6, I would have been like, "That's fucking sick."
5-1, Mike.
Yeah. Let's get off the Giants. Let's finish off these rankings.
I'm literally
Number
in La La
2.
Land from the Giants, man.
Number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. No reason for them to not be in the top 3 teams in the league. They still have Patty Mahomes. Even without Hill, Kelsey's one of the best weapons in the NFL still. They're going to score at will against anyone, anytime. We saw that in the Raiders game. They're
saw that in the
they're
Bills
still the
game.
same animal, man. Nothing's changed with them. You got to put them here. And then, obviously, number
Obvious-
1,
Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
deepest roster
one-
in the league.
Because I think they're one because of this matchup last week. In my opinion.
You know, if the Chiefs won,
would've
I would
won.
have put the Chiefs won. Yeah, I agree. But their defense is really good. Obviously, they have Josh Allen and a bunch of fucking weapons. They're legit.
They're
really
scary,
good.
man.
Yeah, they're so scary. They're really good.
I feel bad for the Jets because they're good, but they also have the Buffalo Bills in there. Like, it's
And
not
the
like
Finns.
the Eagles, but it's the Buffalo Bills.
It's
and
the Finns and Bill Belichick. That's brutal. Yeah,
That's like literally the three-headed snake.
that's also part of the reason I was a little lower on the Jets than some people probably would be right now, because their division is still a tough seed. But yeah, Buffalo Bills, I think, are the undisputed best team in the league. Eagles are 6-0, Bills are 5-1, but I'll just take the Bills team over the Eagles right now, roster-wise, and down the line.
Me too.
They've won convincing fashion almost every week, so I don't see how you don't have them as the best team in the league right now.
The Bills are ridiculous. I love watching them play
nuts.
football.
Yeah, dude, that drubbing of the Steelers the other week was hysterical.
Horrible.
They're so legit. They're so
But to
legit.
be honest with you, dude, Bills fans have kind of been getting on my nerves lately because they're like, we're New York's team.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm
no, it's like, shut up.
Dude,
Dude, go chop down a tree and eat wings.
I'm like, yo, your stadium's in Orchid Park, which is 10 miles away from Buffalo, and MetLife Stadium is 8 miles away from New York City. So,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, that's just an invalid argument. Whatever. Let's not even get into that. That's our power rankings.
We're New York's team.
Had to get loud. Nah. But thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
We love
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for listening to us ramble about football for about an hour. Like and subscribe. Hit all those buttons. Follow us on social media. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. All that fun stuff. Links will be down
Link will be
below.
in the bio.
We love all of you. And peace out. Thanks.
Deuces.